Alright guys, I think I got this. NoDream JL here. Welcome back to the NoDream podcast, the #1 rising podcast on YouTube, soon to be on Spotify, SoundCloud, WhatsApp, all of the apps.
You know we can't put it on WhatsApp, right?
Yes, it's not a sound app or whatever.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But today with us, we have the guest that we already told you about. It's...
No.
What's wrong, Kyle? What's wrong?
We didn't tell him who this is.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, so introduce yourself, guest. Introducing.
Oh. Hey, it's me, Jonathan.
It's Jonathan! Alright, so our special guest is Jonathan Sexton. He's one of our friends that we've known for a really long time.
Yeah, you said my last name too.
Oh, man. But that's okay. See, here on the NoDream podcast, we really value openness. We can come in here and talk about anything, which I find is okay.
You're about to make me spit up my water in the way you're talking.
Anything.
This is my announcer voice.
Stop. It's not natural.
Alright, I'll just talk normal. First off, guys, I want to start out by thanking you for everything you guys did to blow up that first podcast and make it huge. It was incredible the way you guys responded. Kyle, do you have anything to say about that?
About the podcast in general, the first one, that's amazing. We couldn't have thought about the numbers, especially. I know James was nervous when we were first about to post it because he was panicking. He was like, "I don't know what I'm doing."
Yeah, none of us know what we're doing. We're just stepping out in faith. But go on, Kyle.
Then you on to this one, which I think a lot of people are gonna like also.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, we don't have Kobe with us, and so
Exodus.
So you won't get to hear their voices today.
Right.
But,
Jonathan, Jonathan, how do you feel about the first podcast?
About the first one?
Yeah.
Are you guys really gonna expose me on this podcast?
Jonathan,
I'm sorry, guys.
are you okay, Kyle?
I'm dying.
You need Jesus.
Because I knew what he was about to say. Because I saw his eyes get real big. He was like, "You're about to really throw me under the bus like that?"
So yeah, like I haven't listened to the first podcast.
Oh, Jonathan.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
I'm gonna get to it eventually.
Don't be like Jonathan. If you haven't listened to the first podcast, go and listen to it right now.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
It's okay.
Jonathan doesn't have to worry about a thing.
No, it's fine. You guys can expose me.
No.
I'm not going to expose you like that.
Yeah.
James is the only person who would expose somebody like that.
Going back to the whole nervousness thing, yes, I don't usually get nervous, but I actually kind of was. Like, I was pacing back and forth, and I haven't really told the guys this story, but, I was really, really nervous, so I went back to my room to pray. I kind of kneeled down from my window, and I have a really good, nice view of the moon, So I just kind of kneeled there, and I prayed to God, and, this sense of peace and comfort came over me. And, instead it was replaced, the fear was replaced with excitement, I guess, instead. So I'm really excited for what God's about to do. And I'm really glad that we can be here for you guys today specifically because it is Lonely Boy Day. # I'm sad and alone.
By the time we're recording this is not Valentine's Day, but
Yeah.
we will be releasing this on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we will.
No, we will. Don't
Sad
worry.
boy hours. But
For
for all
James.
you who are lonely, we love you. It's okay.
James loves you a little bit more because he's also lonely.
For real. And if I'm alone and you're alone, none of us are alone. We're just alone together in different places, all alone.
You know how sad that? You know that's in a song that's really depressing, right?
No.
So it's in a
What?
what's his name? It's the Piano Man song.
The piano.
What's his name? What's his name? I gotta look it up.
Alright, while he looks this up, today's topic is
song name is
love.
Piano Man.
So, oh my goodness. Alright, so while he looks that up,
Billy Joel.
Let me finish, Kyle. Today's topic is love, and we're going to examine that from multiple perspectives. First, we're going to look at the biblical one, or we're going to base it all off the biblical perspective, and then we're going to talk about different forms like self-love, loving between husband and wife, even though none of us are pretty much qualified to speak on that because none of us are married. We're going to talk about love between two people who are dating. Kyle's our resident expert on that because...
The resident expert.
Yeah.
That's a...
Yeah, so we have a lot of different opinions here because I've never dated anybody. Jonathan, have you ever dated anyone?
Nope.
Yeah.
So out of the three that are here, I'm the only one with any dating experience.
Yeah, so we'll get some pretty good conversations going from this.
Okay, but I found the song. So I was right. It was Piano Man by Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
So the line goes, yes, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. And that's what, when you said that, that's what it reminded me of. Cause
I guess it was similar.
Okay, Boomer.
That's
All
like
right.
a dark, that's a dark line, bro. You have to
We're
think
not
about
gonna
that.
focus on a Billy Joel song.
What-
We're gonna focus on 1 Corinthians 13:4. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not envy, it is not boast. It is not proud, it is not rude. It's not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails.
That's facts, bro. Right.
Wow.
Every day. Every day.
Okay.
Every day.
Do you think we see this kind of love everywhere, like
No.
in today's society?
No.
Yeah.
To answer that really quickly, no.
Yes, not like easily angered or keeps no record of wrongs or like just scrolling through social media. I see people getting upset.
Do you know
all
how
the
many
time.
people like record wrongs on purpose?
Well, yeah, some people just keep a list on their phone.
Love's become very like conditional nowadays. It's like, oh, you love me if you do this for me, or
Self-gratifying.
stuff
Yeah, that's
that.
that's a good way to phrase it. Like you could go and watch any sort of movie today, and you're seeing this narrative of love being like explicitly sex, like explicitly physical, instead of all the other things that come with it. And even in children's movies like Frozen and stuff like that, you see the narrative being pushed towards kids. That,
The
you know,
innuendos that are involved.
yeah, or like if you're not in love with somebody, you're not complete. But I'm alone, and I've learned that I feel pretty good sometimes, not all the time, because I was pretty much born in my fields. Like I'm always in my fields. You can ask Youth and Jonathan. I mean, you've known me for a little bit, Jonathan.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm pretty much in my fields most of the time that I'm home. Yeah, Kyle has forced me to get out of the house.
But something to go back when you brought up like social. So like movies do like portray love and
Yeah.
not the biblical way. Music also does that.
Oh yeah.
Music definitely does that, especially mainstream rap tends to do that. Even mainstream pop tends to do that. It portrays it in a very ugly light that it's not supposed to be in.
And I think it all goes back to like what we're being fed and what we're putting in our minds and in our hearts, because we put in our minds and our eyes, like what we see, we let get in our heart. And I mean, we wouldn't rap about this stuff, or we wouldn't talk about this stuff, or enjoy this kind of content that people are making, because they're not going to make stuff if it doesn't profit, right?
Yeah.
Like companies aren't going to put sex scenes in movies if people don't enjoy that. So
That's the same thing that goes back to our first podcast.
Yeah.
We're talking about what does the news put out. It puts out things that are going to get money and views.
yeah. I mean, like really, Jesus did say money is the root of all evil, and if you go back and look at that, I mean, it's really true. Everything in this world is based around money.
Jonathan, do you have a possible art form that portrays love in the wrong way?
Like a third one that we haven't thought about yet.
Yeah.
Ooh, we did music and like films.
Movies.
Yeah.
I would say books. But
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey.
yeah, stuff like that.
Not that I read it. So.
Yeah, you
Well,
did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, no, that's probably to a lesser extent because nobody reads anymore.
I read. I kind of read. So, I know there's different forms of love. So let's talk about that. Kyle, you are our resident dating expert.
Stop calling me an expert.
First off, how long have you been a boy?
19 years.
19 years. So ever since you were born, right?
Yes.
So how does it feel to be a guy in a relationship? How does that feel to you? Like, describe the feeling. Because I wouldn't know.
Your voice is killing me right now.
This is my announcer. I already told you. How does it feel to be in a relationship?
I mean, personally, it feels great to be in a relationship, but first I had to be in a relationship with Christ first to know what it is truly to be in a relationship with somebody else. So in sociology, we learned you're born into an institution called a family.
Right.
Everybody's born into that. You're born into that institution. That's where you learn to grow your initial relationships. And then you go to school, and then you learn those secondary institutions. And you grow relationships with your peers, which we are right now. We're all friends.
Right.
And so you build those relationships, and you learn how to carry those out, normally by worldly means. Unless you're raised in the church, then you grow those probably more spiritual relationships first.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to dating, depending on where you've gotten your information and how to have a relationship with another person that isn't a peer or family,
Right.
or if you've been more spiritually inclined, then you've known you have to love God first for you to have that relationship. And so for me personally, it's made it a whole lot better chasing God first, and He's leading me to the people I'm supposed to be led to. Sometimes I take the initiative and I get into a relationship I shouldn't get into.
Yeah.
I have many of those stories that unfortunately I shouldn't have gone into because I got impatient with God. I didn't want to listen to what He had to say because I was like, but I want it now. You know, like that, that
We
commercial.
rush ahead and go for the... Jonathan, do you have any interesting perspectives on singleness?
On singleness.
Yeah.
Like in regards to what?
Like, just trying to live the single life at our age.
I
mean,
mean,
do you find it difficult or do you find it easier?
of course, like, I think, around this age, a lot of people start to look around for love, like that. And there's kind of this innate longing for it. So you can get, I get really lonely sometimes,
Yeah,
of course.
same.
I'm sure everyone experiences it, though. But, as far as that goes, don't be in too much of a rush,
Yeah,
Just because
take your time.
that feeling's there doesn't mean you have to, especially if it's going to be something you go into that's bad for you and doesn't glorify God,
Well, I think a question we should ask before we even talk about relationships is, what is the purpose of dating?
Marriage. That's the end goal. Or to establish a connection. Well, I don't really know how to phrase
Well,
it.
let's say
we gotta
with a
think about that.
significant other, with a person of the opposite gender, what is the end goal of that relationship? Like, what is the purpose of that relationship?
Hopefully, it will lead towards marriage. And, before you even get towards the point of dating, you have to find out more about that person, whether they're headed in the same direction as you. So even before you narrow it down from dating to marriage, you have to go from meeting that person to dating. So there's a huge narrowing process from there.
Making sure you're evenly yoked,
Right.
I think is super important.
A lot of putting up safeguards too, like boundaries, so that you know that hey, if she doesn't believe in God, or if I can't see that she's living the life,
that's a red flag.
Yeah, you're gonna end up converting to her walk,
So an analogy I've always heard growing up from my dad, that was talking about being unevenly yoked, and when looking for somebody, as relationship wise, if I'm on top of the mountain and they're on the bottom of the mountain, I'm pulling up and they're pulling down.
It's hard to pull up.
It's harder to pull up, and the person pulling down is always going to win.
Yeah.
Because the momentum and gravity is on their side. So if you're dating somebody that's unevenly yoked with you, or not even walking with God in the first place,
Right.
you're going to be brought down spiritually.
It's hard enough to fight your flesh by yourself, and if you're with somebody aiding those desires,
Right.
fall so much heavier.
yeah. Back on to the subject of loneliness, right? There's this, I guess it's God-given, but there's this thought that's been put in my brain, I was just thinking about when I was driving earlier, and that scripture that talks about taking up our cross and walking with Him and following Him? He tells us to do that like He did, right? So He bore our suffering, and likewise we're called to do so. So in a way, we can kind of identify with Christ's suffering. How do you think that relates to being single, especially? How do you think that relates, taking up our cross and following Jesus and being able to, I don't want to say sympathize, because Christ bore way more pain than we ever have or ever will, but He became human for a little bit, right?
He walked our walk.
He walked our walk, so He knows what it's like to be alone, especially since He was the Son of God. He was like nobody else around Him on earth at that time.
Luckily, I was able to present a small study at an FCA at Warner Robins High School, and I was able to give a short message, which I was super happy about. And I talked about Matthew 4:1-11, where Jesus was tempted. He was alone by Himself for 40 days and 40 nights.
I've never been alone that long.
Exactly. Has any of us really been alone for 40 days and 40 nights and no communication? No cell phone, no outer communication. Say if we literally went camping and it was just us and we were up there for 40 days and 40 nights.
I remember I got the flu once and I was locked in my room for 3 days because my mom didn't want to get sick.
But yet, who were still in the house?
My family. Yeah.
Exactly, they were still not. You weren't technically.
So I wasn't alone because I still knew they were there.
Right.
I think
complete isolation.
I think the most I've been alone personally is probably a whole day, where I've seen absolutely no one, and that's me staying in my house, or me driving, and then me talking to no one still.
Yeah.
But yet, I will be surrounded by people.
So even if you feel, it's hard to phrase this. Even if you're disconnected with others, how do you still feel a sense of love? How do you still feel that sense of self-worth? Where does that come from if you don't feel a connection with others?
I want Jonathan to answer this first.
Yeah.
Because I have an answer, but I just don't want to take over the whole thing.
Okay. So, of course, we should find our self-worth in, God, obviously, because, He created us for a purpose, and
right.
he has use for us,
Yeah.
So we should find our worth in that, of course, because, God has a use for us. That's pretty great, and that's something we should cherish. So I think that's probably where our main self-worth should come from.
Yeah,
like definitely to build off of that. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Right.
Almost to a T. When we're lonely like that, I think our only place to find that comfortness in that loneliness is in God.
Right.
Before I got saved, right? I think you can all attest to this. Before you get saved, there's like something missing inside of you that you want to find to belong.
Trying to fill that void.
Trying to fill the void,
yeah.
and people will try thing after
that cross-shaped hole you're trying to fill with cars and everything else.
And then especially love. Love is one of the main things that we try to fill it with.
Yeah.
But it's with a worldly love or a fleshly love. But it's really the love of Christ that fills in that spot. That fills in that void. And that's what takes care of what you're missing.
Okay, so interesting question. I know me and Kyle butt heads about this tons of times. I want to hear your opinion on this. But soulmates, right? So, if you've seen the newest Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Kylo Ren and Rey at the very end,
we're soulmates.
they at the
Force
end
mates.
for the Force mates. Oh my god! No, for the first two movies, they try to kill each other. The first two movies, in the last 30 seconds, just before they die, they kiss and then they're in love. Is that how love really works in real life? I don't think so.
No,
but anyway,
not in real life. We can agree on that.
Do you just try to kill each other and then decide you don't want to anymore, and then
what if that's a symbol of flirting nowadays?
People
What
trying
if
to kill
flirting
each other?
turned into that?
Oh, that sounds like a good book.
No, a dystopian book, yes.
Yeah, in a world where love is dangerous. Yeah. Anyway, back to our soulmates.
Jonathan, go ahead.
What's my
let's
opinion
talk
on
about that.
soulmate?
Do you think there's one person for you and one person only? Or do you think there's potentially multiple people depending on the path you go down?
Right.
I would probably say multiple people, maybe. I would think so. Because, you're not just going to find, one person you're compatible with out of all of, God's creation,
Yeah.
And there's, I don't know, it's hard.
I really think it's a paradox question.
I see you swayed him to your side, youth.
I did.
see what
Okay,
you did there.
so this is my argument.
You talked to him before the podcast, didn't you?
No, I didn't. This is my argument. I think there's multiple people for one person.
Okay.
Because it's hard just to say there's one for one. Because it's not how that works. You can't just have one for one. But I feel like once you find one of those multiple people, they become that one.
Okay, so mine's slightly different. So from our point of view, we would say there's multiple people, right?
Yeah.
Because we live in a 3D world, right? So everything we see is 3-dimensional, but God exists he would exist in a 4D plane.
I think beyond
he
4D.
Sees way beyond, but he sees from outside time, outside space, all that. So I would say to God, since he knows the future, there's one person we're going to end up with. But it's just a matter of seeking his will and following the path he set for you.
That's the thing. That's where the multiple in my mind comes in.
Yeah.
Because if we're not seeking him, and
freedom of choice, and you can choose not to.
And this person is seeking him at the same time we were supposed to be, that's where we should have met up. But instead, we decided to go this way, but potentially this person, we still meet
But then
up
that
later.
gets into complicated concepts
It does.
predestination.
That's what I'm saying.
Who's meant to be saved and the destiny and fate. And
that's what I'm saying. That is such a hard question to answer.
We'll save that for a later
really
podcast. That seems like a good
I might
topic.
have to think on that.
Yeah,
like if that's our whole podcast, bro, that we could go.
That could be a whole episode.
While,
that could be a whole episode. Okay, so we talked about soulmates, right? And following the plan God has for us. And we just talked about how that's part way, somewhat our choice, a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
What qualities, and this is where it kind of gets to the fun part, So what qualities, spiritual and physical, do you guys look for in a female?
What do you look for? I want you to go first on
You
this.
may go
Start it
first.
out.
All right. I've always...
Do the physical first, because that's what we see first.
Okay, so physical, right?
Because, when you look at a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't immediately see her personality traits or how she acts. You
Right.
see how she looks first, because that's the first layer you meet. when you meet somebody?
Right. I would say, wow. I would say, I gotta be careful. I don't want to get like just get out of my car trying to go into Walmart and get stabbed in the back. You don't like how I look. Jesus help me. I'm scared.
I mean, like what physical features?
What physical? Okay, I've always liked dark hair, but I also like light hair. Ooh, there we go. I'm smart.
So like,
I can't get in trouble now.
I can't get in trouble now. So more like a dirty blonde, I guess you would have to say.
I think he's saying
I
there's
don't-
no
like-
traits he like hates.
There's no
but
trait- there's
some
nothing-
he prefers.
There's not that I don't listen.
He's trying to cover his bases.
All women
I don't like
are
that.
queens.
Redhead?
Okay, you're all queens.
I'm not a fan.
But there's certain preferences
For
I
different-
have as a man.
For different people, there's different preferences.
Yes.
I think you find that not only for males, but you also find that for females that they have traits that they like. I've talked to Kaylin about this, and apparently I check off all of her boxes that she has when looking for a guy.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
It's a weird list.
Well, good job.
All right.
Like I don't know. She won't tell me what they all are yet.
Oh, she
so-
hasn't showed you the boxes yet?
No.
Yeah, but I mean,
So what are your preferences?
my preferences? I
Besides,
thought I just stated this.
that's just one physical feature.
Um,
Besides that,
yeah.
I would like her to have eyes and hands and.
well, I mean, wow. So
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, my god!
oh.
That's,
So if your wife, sir,
No.
is an amputee,
No.
it's a no.
oh my! g-
James is canceled.
No, I'm not.
James is canceled.
No more jail. I walked right in.
Cancel.
No. What I? Oh my god!
You done goof, son.
No.
You just want to come
Hey,
back?
might as well go all in.
You want us to come back to you?
There's no coming back now.
I'll just skip to the spiritual
wanna
real
think
quick.
Okay.
We'll come back to the physical.
Okay.
Let's go to the spiritual.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, this is where
Or
I get.
personality traits.
I'll get deep and philosophical here.
You can get deep and philosophical for like for what you like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, I didn't. No, that was very surface.
It shouldn't be that deep.
That was literally surface level stuff. Okay.
Okay.
This is
We're
like,
getting a
this
little
is deep,
deeper.
a little bit deeper. All right. So, honestly, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I just want a relationship that's pure, and where I'm down for that person and they're down for me no matter what, and like they don't judge me based on how I look or they are going to in the beginning. The way I look one day
Versus the other.
versus the other day won't change like how they view me, and where we can just like text all the time or just chill like, and even when we're not talking like constantly, I still have that sense of that person's there for me anytime I need to reach out for them. Well, there's like no fear, no doubt of them not liking me back, or
Okay, so besides that, what
just
like
trust. Yeah, trust.
what personality traits do you like?
What personality traits?
Like, does she have to be intelligent?
Intelligences. Yeah, I like intelligent people.
Does she have to be a bookworm?
Not necessarily.
But
Like,
you'd like her to
I'm-
be a
I'm a-
bookworm.
I'm a man versed in many subjects, she doesn't have to necessarily like books or anything.
But you would
Right.
like if she liked books.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, it's not a bad quality to have. Literacy is,
Right.
but
They can't read. They can't read the Bible.
no, yeah, I would like my future wife to be able to read the Bible
Well,
to
there's
my
audiobooks
to
now.
my children. Oh yeah, we do have audiobooks.
Audiobooks now.
We got
They're
YouTube
fine.
now.
They can make it.
But humor, it'd be funny. Oh, energetic too. Energy is like a super big thing. I don't know. Not really that picky. Athletic, yeah. I don't know. It depends.
Depends.
It depends.
Jonathan,
Not that picky.
All right.
physical traits first.
Physical first.
Just don't mess it up like he did.
Yeah, don't mess it up. Be careful,
Don't
John.
mess it up.
It's a trap.
All right. My preferences are, I like darker hair, I guess. I like darker skin too.
Darker skin, so like
What?
so like caramel.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Around there.
Oh.
That category.
Oh.
So like Latina.
Yeah.
I can't believe you just said that like that. Oh
Latina.
my goodness.
I can't believe that's me. What I
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
What did I say?
What? You don't like the caramel?
James, you're about to get canceled again.
No. No, I do. But we're talking about you, Jonathan. So let's go back to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we are.
is there more physical traits?
So you
I
like
have?
fair skin? Okay, eyes. What eye color do you prefer?
Eyes? Oh, I don't really care about eyes too much.
Eyes are the windows to the soul.
Well, I have beautiful eyes, so I can share my eyes with her.
Aww.
We can.
I'm
share
kind of
eyes.
creeped out. But
Takes off his eye.
that's-
It's
it's like
you
it's
go.
romantic, yet I'm creeped out at the same time. So I don't really know how to respond to that. Look, I think. we
No,
should-
I meant to say I have eyes beautiful enough for the both of us. So.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. The
Jonathan the
confidence.
poet.
You know,
Wow.
The confidence.
I don't like girls who are too uptight. I mean, like as far as body language goes, I like somebody who's really
Loose
chill.
and- yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
who's
Jonathan's
not
really
like
chill.
constantly like. Yeah, I like I like me.
Like scared
basically.
somebody's gonna like they're like not
I want
constantly
them to be a
scared
girl
somebody's
version
gonna,
of me.
not like scared somebody's gonna attack them every
Right.
other second.
Or
Like they're
just
about to get
vibing.
jumped.
Right.
Oh my god.
So that's physical, I guess. I don't really have anything else.
Okay, so like
What about spiritual?
spiritual
Or like personality.
personality.
Personality wise,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you kind of already mentioned it, the chill part.
Yeah, chill is definitely a big part. I mean, well, it's more body language. Like they can be kind of more like energetic, but be like just kind of chilling.
Yeah, they don't have
If
to
you
be like
understand what
super
I'm saying.
super extra.
As long as they're not like super stiff, like uptight all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Like- Super anxious.
Yeah, anxious too. Anxiety, yeah. When someone else is like super anxious, that annoys me, kind of. I mean, not to be rude.
Yeah.
It kind of it gets me riled up, even though it might not look like it.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm telling you, Jonathan has probably got one of the like calmest demeanors out of
For real.
anybody I know. So like, if he's mad, like I can't tell unless he's physically showing it, and that's not a good thing.
No,
He's
that is-
physically-
Yeah.
That's
That's
never
one of my
seen Jonathan
problems.
mad.
I don't really physically show how I'm feeling sometimes.
Yeah,
which
same.
can be kind of bad actually, because I tend to internalize things and I don't like to talk about it. Which you shouldn't do that.
That's another podcast for a different time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's something. That's
We'll-
another
we'll talk
topic.
about-
We'll
we'll
talk
get
about
to-
me later.
Yeah, we'll get to those. On to you, lover boy.
Boy, wow. Physical traits.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told Jonathan, I really don't like red hair. I'm not a fan of it.
What?
I'm not a fan of redheads.
What about Black Widow?
I'm not a fan, bro.
Kyle.
Go back to the blonde.
Your man card has been revoked.
Go ahead, bro. I have a girlfriend.
Oh, true. Good point. I don't. 1 point, Kyle. Go
Yeah,
on.
maybe we shouldn't like redheads either.
Yeah.
Maybe that works.
That's kind of dangerous.
But I prefer like I guess more brunette color or like a lighter brown, because like
Yeah.
my eye color is kind of a lighter
Yeah.
brown. I don't know, just kind of like or like a hazel. Hazelnut is a beautiful color.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Eyes. So my girlfriend has 3 different eye shades, so it kind of makes me happy because it's like so she has gray,
Mm-hmm.
she has blue, she has green.
Mhm.
And sometimes the blue and the green mix and it looks really beautiful.
I'm about to throw up.
Wow. Okay.
Disgusting. Ugh.
She's also very photogenic.
I'm not. I look terrible. in photos.
Same.
Lies.
What do you think Jonathan looks good in photos?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's not up to you whether he thinks he's photogenic.
We'll give you guys a photo shoot soon.
Maybe when I get my new phone, I'll have a better camera. And maybe I'll
Yeah.
disagree then.
Okay.
What about spiritual for you, Kyle? Or personality type?
I'm gonna do personality and spiritual traits.
Yeah.
Even though spiritual. are
You can
probably-
separate it, yeah.
Even though spiritual are probably more important, but personality traits: athletic, intelligent, gotta be able to hold an intellectual conversation.
Yeah, you're a brainiac.
So like if you can't have an intellectual conversation with me, it kind of just irks me.
I'm not the same. I'm so dumb. I don't.
Jonathan, we
Yeah.
have intellectual conversations.
You
all the
gotta dumb
time.
it down a little.
I'm so dumb. Yeah, I'm down for another dumb person.
I mean, they can't be too intellectual. Like, I don't have to pull out a dictionary every time I talk to you. But I mean,
No,
I'm a
but
pretty,
not like
I'm
that,
a pretty
but, like-
verbose person myself, so I don't
Not
really have to worry
like
about
intellectual as in like vocabulary,
that. Ah,
but-
verbose.
but intelligent enough to like know what they're talking about.
yeah.
Like, so say for instance, politics. If we ever got into politics, that you're able to at least have an understanding of what's going on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they know a little bit about what's going on in
Exactly.
our country, at least. Yeah.
Or like, say for instance, if we're in a college class, right?
Mhm.
And say James, you're talking to a girl in your college class,
Which I did.
And
Continue.
oh,
Continue.
oh.
Go on.
Dang.
Continue.
But you at least want her to be able to talk back to you, right?
Oh, so not like
Yes. Bro.
Oh, I was like that.
No. No, we're like, she's able to give you a competent answer.
Wow. Senior year, I couldn't even form words. Look at me now.
You're evolving.
Jen.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
I said athletic. I mean, that's caring and loyal. I think that's...
Loyalty's big. Yeah.
I think that's kind of for everybody, though.
And just like really real too.
Authentic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like mine to be energetic and kind of extroverted. I'm extroverted. Unless I go to a new place and I'm very introverted.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
I know when we went to, we've been to a new place and you just see me kind of sit there and observe the place.
Yeah, you just kind of wait. You gotta look back, scan the room a little bit.
That's what I do. Like,
so
if I ever go to a new place and you see me and I'm just sitting there quiet, that's because I'm observing and...
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, reconnaissance.
And, like, getting a feel
Scan
for the room. I think that's it for personality traits.
Yeah, so we've talked about loving others, right? So
talk
what
about
about
her spiritual traits?
Oh, Kyle, gone.
Loving the Lord. I think that comes first and foremost.
That's
like we
big.
talked about. Like, if she doesn't love the Lord, I don't think that's it.
Yeah, at the forefront for me at least, and I'm pretty sure for everybody else in this room. But you gotta love God. You gotta be a Christian because that's the path that I'm on.
Right.
And
I think it also helps if you come from the same denomination.
Yeah, so you don't have to
because you share those.
But that's a whole nother denomination is a whole nother podcast. Too.
Well, if we just talk about denominations, but if we're talking about
with this aspect of it,
with love,
yeah,
with love, I think it's important you find somebody with as similar
has similar beliefs.
Turmoil
Goes back to equally
disagreements
yoked and all that.
Yeah, in a way.
But I think that's it for spiritual because if she loves God, she's gonna love me.
Yeah, I like that.
Because
that's
like
nice, yeah.
that means you're following His commandments. If you say that you love God and you live out that lifestyle, you're going to love me back. Same way, if I say I love God and I outwardly show that, I am going to show that same love to you.
Mm-hmm. I was told when I was really little that if a girl hates you, that means she likes you. Is that true?
So I was told that same thing too.
What?
Yeah.
Jonathan, were you told that?
If she hates you,
when I was in 4th grade, I was bullying this girl, and then the teacher said that I liked her, and then I cried about it.
Because you're like, that's not the case at
I was
all.
like, that's not it. I think I did kind of like her back then, so that's why I cried.
It's exposed.
Wow. The air horn. All right, so that was a little side piece conversation, but we talked about loving others. So what about loving ourselves?
I mean,
Wow.
How do you love you?
That's a hard one for me, bro.
It is.
My self-confidence in myself is very low.
Mm-hmm.
I have low self-confidence. But, like, I don't know. I think my self-confidence doesn't come from me.
Yeah.
When you see me, you know how, like, I carry myself when I speak or something.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't think that confidence comes from me at all.
Yeah.
Because, before I spoke at Fields of Faith, how, like, anxious I look. Pacing back, up and down.
You went from, like, one end zone to the other, like 5 times in a minute.
Because I was pacing that.
You're like the Energizer Bunny.
Bro, I was pacing so bad because I was so anxious and so nervous before I went up on stage. And then James and Kobe were both there. And, like, you saw the difference.
Yeah.
Like, as if...
We're like, chill, Kyle.
And then I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't chill.
And then I got up on stage.
And then you were. You're pretty chill.
I'm telling you, like, that confidence doesn't come from
Just
me.
the peace of God. Yeah. What about you, Jonathan?
That doesn't really answer the question now that I think about it.
Oh, yeah.
But oh well, go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, as far as self-love goes, I've struggled with it, definitely, in the past. Specifically, like, my underclassmen years of high school, or whatever that would be called. I think 9th and 10th and 11th, around there. I mean, once I got into 12th grade, I kind of figured it out, but...
Yeah.
There was a lot of time. my secrets. I realized, just like I was putting too much worth into what other people thought of me, and that was probably the main reason I felt that way. Felt like bad about myself. And it was just because my delusions. I was like, they don't like me. They don't want to hang out with me.
I mean,
all my friends I had.
I like physical looks too.
Do you guys find that really easy to listen to other people's opinions about yourself?
Yeah.
Other people, yeah, they can influence me pretty easily.
I mean, when you don't have confidence in yourself, it's easy
As far as
to
that
think
goes, at
that,
least.
yeah, if you don't have confidence in yourself, it's easier to take what other people say as a higher opinion than your own, and then you start believing what they tell you, even though it may not be true. So,
yeah.
And if anybody ever tells you ugly, I think you're beautiful.
oh,
Yeah,
for
just
real?
remember that. Just hear Kyle's
Thanks, man.
voice in your head saying,
I mean,
James, you're beautiful.
James, you're beautiful. It has like an echo. Beautiful, beautiful.
Or like somebody says that to you in South Kitten tonight, just drop by the door. Beautiful, beautiful.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 2 on my.
That's how you feel about yourself?
No,
Wait.
like I feel like a 50 something, you know, but probably like a 2, something like that. Anyway,
Two, bro, you're like a 17,
like a 17,
an 11-teen.
an 11-teen. I like that number. 11-teen. That's a new number. Is it my turn? Or?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, looks. It's not really. I think you have to get into like a deeper issue. Like it's never about surface issue, because you know.
Well,
in the end,
those
looks.
surface issues come from mental issues.
Yeah, so looks aren't you. It's your personality, your psyche. So there has to be some deeper underlying problem to where you're not satisfied with how you look. Because I mean, yes, you can change it to some degree, but unless you can shapeshift, you can't turn into Kanye West if you're not Kanye West. You know, you can't become Chris Brown unless you were born Chris Brown. Unless you're me.
Fine, unless you pay for it.
Unless you pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these days you can do that. But I guess I was frustrated with my looks. Like I remember there used to be some days like I wouldn't even look in the mirror, but now I just really don't care.
I
Like,
really feel like
well,
if we had to rank the on a scale of 1 to 10, where each person ranks,
yeah,
Kobe's at the top.
of course.
You're second.
Ugh.
Jonathan's third.
No, Jonathan's above me.
And me and Steven are tied.
Jonathan's above me.
Me and Steven are tied.
Jonathan's above me. But
I think you're. Oh, Jonathan, what do you think? Because it is you versus him.
no,
Me
Jonathan.
better.
Jonathan's way better. But I found that, you know, looks weren't really the underlying problem. It was that I was frustrated with the person I was becoming and who I was at the time. And I was just upset that,
Well, what was the person you were becoming?
well, I really didn't feel like I was walking the direction God had me. Like, yes, I was still living out the Christian life. But, like, I went to bed, like, unsatisfied every single night. Like, I was literally staying up at night because I couldn't sleep because I wasn't the person who God made me to be. And it was, like, this ache, you know? This spiritual pain. And, like, you don't really know where it is in your body, but you can just feel it there. And I guess I just kind of came to terms with, like, I guess it was as soon as we started doing this podcast, kind of, sort of, yeah, it wasn't really my looks. I was just frustrated because I wasn't the person who I was meant to be. I guess that's, like, the best way to put it.
Like, not feeling yourself.
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. I get that. That was my main thing, too. Because I never necessarily had a problem with my looks, you know? I didn't care that much.
I did. I have a huge self-conscious problem. Like,
I mean, that's a big thing, too. Like, I'm probably one of the weird ones. I think most people do
No, it
that.
doesn't make you weird. Thank you.
Nah, it doesn't. Alright, so, how about any weird stories you guys have of trying to impress a girl?
So, Jonathan, you go first.
Yeah, you go for sure.
Oh.
Go on.
I can't really think of one. I mean, I guess that story I told earlier, 4th grade. I mean, I don't know why I would be trying to impress her by bullying her, but...
Oh, I
That is weird.
reverse psychology? You were that smart back then, John?
Yeah, I remember...
you till you like me.
Oh, another thing, when we used to play dodgeball in 4th grade.
Oh my goodness.
Me and my friend would always go up front because the girls were, like, terrible at throwing.
I'd
And
like-
we'd, like, dodge them right up front.
You'd be like, ooh,
to, like,
Matrix.
style, like, to try to impress them, but, like, it didn't
Warrior
work.
Ball?
Huh?
Remember Warrior Ball?
Warrior Ball? That was intense. It was like a battlefield. People were like dying in the middle of the gym floor. I remember one of my best friends. Rest in peace. Anyway, Kyle, what about you? Any stories of you trying to impress a female?
So one time in middle school, so I'm really nerdy and I'm really good at math.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I want to say 8th grade, 'cause that's middle school. 8th grade, I was saying this to this girl I liked, and like we were doing this math worksheet, and like to me it was really easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like really good at math.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna press her by finishing this worksheet as quick as I can. Be the first one done.
Huh.
I was the first one done.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got everything right.
Very cool.
Nice.
She didn't care.
Nice.
Sounds realistic. Yeah.
I don't even think she knew I was trying
Sounds
to
about
impress her
right.
by like doing that.
Look how quick I did my math.
Yeah.
You
Love
should have
me.
done her worksheet for her.
For-
Then she'd been impressed.
Yeah.
But then like so
100
also,
IQ.
that goes back to like what I like in a person. Like I also love a person who can do
Do
their
math fast.
by
own, not do math
themselves.
fast, but like do their own work sometimes.
So,
Like I
okay.
don't want to be the one that carries a person because I'm not the one who lives that life.
yeah,
I see.
that makes sense.
Like, cause okay, so take for instance, if I was just to do all of her worksheets, is she learning?
Oh, I just meant in that one instance.
I know. But like, trying to broaden that, like, for example,
Yeah,
now
I
you
know
go
what
into
you're saying.
later in life problems. If I'm doing everything,
Mhm.
is she really learning
Yeah, right.
to how to take care of certain things?
All right, so on to our
No,
next.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Oh, yeah,
Embarrassing
you're
stories.
saying-
You aren't getting out of this one.
You see, guys, dear listeners, I have no problems. Like, I'm infallible
Are
when
you
it
lying?
comes to talking to females. Like,
Are you lying on the podcast?
Lord, please forgive me. I'm sorry. Let me think.
Tell the embarrassing story.
I'm trying to think.
You told me about it Wednesday.
I did?
Yes, you did.
What are you doing? Dada. What is dada? What
Your
is?
daddy God.
That's another podcast.
That's another topic.
That's another. Yeah.
We can.
but-
That'll be a full podcast.
yeah, that would be a
too.
full episode about
Dear daddy God.
my growing up, my upbringing. Might be next podcast. Wink, wink.
Okay, now answer the questions. Stop
Something.
avoiding.
I guess it wasn't really anything embarrassing, like too embarrassing that I did. Like I remember senior year, I like changed a lot of the way that I dressed.
For one girl.
I mean, but it was
Just
worth
one.
it though. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, if
You
you
didn't
compare,
you stopped dressing in very dark clothing
yeah,
all the time.
all the time.
Because you used to wear nothing but dark clothing all the time.
Oh, I mean, I really didn't care. Like I just wore what I had, you know, and like I wasn't emo or anything. But yes, I'm very sure. I am very sure. But I changed the way I looked, talked. It made me more socially aware, I guess.
But I mean, no. Embarrassing story. That this is you changing because of somebody. It's not an embarrassing story.
I'm trying to, but I don't really know
An
if I've done it.
embarrassing interaction.
I don't know if I've done it. Embarrassing interaction. See, that's. Why don't you just say it like that in the first place?
Because you're the one who asked the question.
Why don't you say it like that? I remember there was this one time I went to this conference. There was this girl I hadn't seen in a while. She ran up, she hugged me. She's like, "Oh, hi, Joe." And like,
She said hi, James, not J.O. She said hi,
yeah, James, not jail. Back then I was in jail. Now I'm jail. Total upgrade. Like I'm like an iPhone 11 Pro now. Back then I was like an iPod first gen. But anyway.
This was at Move Conference.
Yeah, but anyway, she like hugged me and my brain went numb and I got all warm and fuzzy at the same time and my mouth couldn't form words. And then
But that happens a lot.
no, but not like that bad.
Oh, so you got Sahara
Like-
Desert mouth.
Like no, it wasn't dry at all by any means. But
Your mouth is watering.
Jonathan, shut up.
After
Jewel came out of your mouth.
No.
James starts short circuiting.
like a computer.
no. That is embarrassing.
No, like
I feel bad.
like I talk. I've never had a hard time talking, but like that time, like I actually like ran out of like my brain wasn't working.
You were about to say I ran out of words like a typewriter.
I can't words anymore.
I can't words anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's my most well not. It's up there.
It's up there.
It's up there. So, love. What is it? Why does it exist? Any closing comments about love, guys?
Again, like the verse says, love is patient, love is kind.
Right.
I think we pass over the part that love does not boast. I think we forget that a lot.
Yeah.
Love
Not
is-
easily angered either.
Not easily angered.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to scratch my head for that one because I'm very quick to anger. We're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves, and to love our neighbor, we can't grow angry with them quickly.
Huh.
So I think it's important when you love somebody, when we talk about loving them in a Christ-like manner, to be patient. Again, that's what love is. Love is being patient to other people, and love is being kind. And for you to do that, you can't grow angry with people quickly.
Yeah, scripture says God is love. So if you want to know how to love somebody, you
Love.
first got to know who love is, and it's God. He's the embodiment of it. You know, he's He literally came and died for you and like took the weight of your sins off your back, that you couldn't lift off yourself. So if you want to know what love is, pursue God first, and then your person will come along. Jonathan. Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
And if you like, even if you don't know who God is or how to meet God in the first place, please, please, please do not be afraid to send us a DM.
For real. Reach out. We'll talk.
Either on any of our Instagram pages or on the NoDream Records Instagram page. You just send us a DM and we will be gladly to answer that question for you.
Yeah. Or just go to church. Like I know a lot of churches around here. I've been to a fair amount of churches because, you know, I pick up kids and take them to church all the time. That usually don't get a chance to go, so I go more than on Wednesday nights. And I've been to a lot of churches around Warner Robins area, and it's great. So just find. I'm pretty sure you have a friend that's a Christian, but they might be hiding it because of how you're reacting to them. I don't know. One of your friends just might be scared to live that Christian walk, and if you join them and walk up to them and be like, hey, let me go to church with you this Wednesday or this Sunday, then you might just encourage them to, and you'll get something out of it as well. Jonathan, you have anything?
I guess my closing thing would be, you know, Jesus' love is unconditional.
Right.
And
Reckless.
yeah, love shouldn't be affected by how others treat you or
Circumstances.
You know, circumstances, right? So
Yeah.
if you feel your love fading, you know, for some reason, you might need to reevaluate that.
Yeah, reevaluate what it was in the first place.
You know?
Yes, maybe it's not the best.
Maybe get back in the word.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I got.
James?
To all you heartbroken people out there, for me, I mean, I spent countless hours writing at night, you know, just pouring myself into my music and my lyrics, because that's what I do when I'm hurt. And I remember there's been days or nights where I've woken up at 4 a.m. in the morning for like literally no reason, hurting, and it's crazy. You know, for all you heartbroken people out there, get a life. No, but no, let me be for real. I'm being for real, guys. Literally, like, one of the things that helped me through a lot of it is getting my own life, like throwing myself into a hobby. Because like a lot of the times when you fall for somebody, you try to immediately match your life up with theirs and get on their wavelength, and then when you get suddenly cut off or disconnected, you don't really know where to go or what to do. So just find your own wave, you know? Find that thing that's for you. Kyle, stop staring at me.
Wave check.
Wave check. Yeah. Find your own wave to hop on. Get a life. You'll love it.
Again, this not the
Probably
answer.
not the best way
I
to
mean,
phrase it.
no, yeah, I know, but I mean in a loving way, guys.
You should have said that part first.
I mean that in a loving way.
I mean this is a loving way. Get a life.
Yeah, yeah, that is kind of harsh. But, yeah, it's just,
I apologize. It's kind of harsh. Bet.
that is kind of harsh. So, in conclusion, I guess we're going to end it here, and make sure you subscribe, like, all that.
Like, comment, subscribe, and hit
Gotta
those
say
bell
it in order.
notifications.
We got bigger things coming. We recorded some actual videos with actual content.
Yes.
And on that note of content, I'm pleased to announce that Jonathan, our special guest for today, will be gasp.
Joining NoDream.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. It just kind of
Yep.
came to me.
Jonathan's in NoDream.
Woo!
It's a very, very hard selection process grading scale.
I'm the love rhino.
Like, first we had to walk up to him and ask him to be in NoDream, and then we had to wait for him to say yes, and then when he said yes, he was in.
He kind of just stared at us blankly when we asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, I said.
yeah, sure.
And then I got knighted.
Yeah, so I was knighted.
Yeah,
With a guitar.
Kobe knighted me with the guitar.
Oh my god.
It wasn't even our guitar.
It was mysterious.
Just grab some random guy's guitar.
Yeah, and he like touched my shoulders with it.
Oh, well, yep. Jonathan's in NoDream, guys.
There's more to that. There's more to the process than that. I promise.
Yeah,
You have to be. Yeah, we have like a great.
what
I can't talk about it.
We can't talk about
My
that
bad.
process.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry.
as far as the future and what's going on, after this, we're going to start going into our stories and our testimonies. So you'll get to know each of us a little bit deeper. I don't really know the order that we're going in. Well, I kind of do. But I'll keep you guys posted. We'll keep you guys posted and updated on it. Just look on our Instas. Mine is NoDream_JL. Kyle, what is yours?
Your _ an average _ follower.
Oh,
or you, again, just go to the No Dream Records Instagram page.
Yeah.
And you can find us all there.
And go to the YouTube page as well, No Dream. That's where you can find this podcast at. We'll soon be on Spotify and SoundCloud and other places like that. But for now, we're just on YouTube. So make sure you like that up and subscribe and share that with everybody, because our God is a God who loves to break records. Like, he changed the world with 12 people. Who says he can't do it with the 5 of us that are in No Dream? And furthermore, who says he can't do it with you right in your home? Who says he can't use you to change your family or use you to change your school? I mean, like I said, we don't know what we're doing here. I mean, we each have skills and different skill sets and all that, but we're just stepping out of faith and saying, God, we'll just do what
you have for
what
us.
you've gifted us with, and then we'll trust you to handle the rest. Any more closing comments?
Just again, thank you guys so much. Thank you, No Dream Nation, Dream Team, for just the first podcast and how well that went.
And share about it. Share about it on Insta with hashtag NoDreamNation to make sure it gets out there, because we're trying to make that our official hashtag.
Jonathan, any closing remarks? As,
Oh.
new team member.
As the new team member? Alright,
Yep.
well, I'm looking forward to, working with these guys, putting out some content, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad that they invited me on.
Yeah.
It's definitely a great opportunity.
It's great to have you. Yeah.
It's amazing to have you, dude.
Thank
With
you.
your talents and skill sets that you've shown previously, I think it's going to be a big part of our production team.
Yep. So in closing, I want to end with this fact. The average American throws away $6.2 million a year in coins.
Chump change.
Chump change. But in the long run, it amounts to $6.2 million. Now, how does this relate to relationships, you ask? J.O., what does this mean? Why are you talking about money at the end of the podcast? Well, guys, listen. Money in this example is kind of like our relationships. We throw away the little bits and pieces, like we might go and meet somebody and it doesn't work out at first, and we throw that relationship away because it's not working out. But guys, I'm encouraging you, if you need to make it with somebody, go do it. Let God's
forgive
love,
somebody.
or forgive somebody. Let God's love flow through you. You don't have to like them, you don't have to love them. Let God love them through you, guys. Just be God's mouthpiece and his hands and his feet on this earth. Remember, guys, we got no dream but the one dream. Praise the one King.
Real quick, before you end it, because you brought up a good topic.
Oh, I have to end with that.
I know.
All right, I'll say it again after this. Go ahead.
Burning bridges is like an awful thing.
Yeah.
Only burn bridges if it's necessary. But again, if you burn a bridge, there's a possibility of rebuilding that same bridge.
Yeah, never forget. There's always a possibility for rebirth, reconnection, revitalization.
That's a good one.
JL coming with the big words. Lyrical uppercuts.
Lyrical uppercuts.
Jonathan, any closing comments?
Oh my. No, I don't think I have any.
No?
I mean, I didn't prepare closing comments.
Oh, yeah, I don't
didn't
think
even
any of
prepare
us
for
did.
closing comments. So.
Jonathan, come on.
Did you guys, do you have some closing comments?
I only have one. Guys, we got no dream but the one dream. Praise the one King. No dream jail out.
No Dream Youth out.
No Dream Jonathan out.
Peace, y'all.
You know, guys, there comes a time in every man's life when it's Valentine's Day, and you come to a realization that you love the people around you. And you know what? I love you guys.
What are you doing?
You guys
What
are
are you?
my friends,
What
my
are you?
family.
What are you doing? You told me on the last outro, no weird voices. So what are you doing?
This is my appealing voice.
Appealing voice.
Yeah.
Why can't we just outro a video
Normally,
normally?
like this.
Yeah.
That's boring.
So,
I'd rather talk to you guys
oh my gosh.
like this.
Thank you guys so much for watching our second podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit those bell notifications. So when our next podcast goes out, you're right there and ready to listen.
Yep, the numbers on the last video were pretty big. 210 people watched it. But sadly, only 33 of those people are subscribed.
Only 33 subscribers, man. What are y'all doing?
For real, just go ahead and subscribe. It takes less than a second, and you'll help grow the channel.
Just one click and you're done.
Yeah, we have lots more content we're ready to make. We have merch ideas. We got videos coming. We have music on the way. Definitely dropping before this summer. So just subscribe, notifications, all that. Comment what you want to see in the future, because this is you guys' channel as much as it's ours.
Yeah.
So let us know what you want to see in the future. And remember, y'all, we got no dream but the one dream to praise the one king. No dream jail.
And No Dream Youth
Out.